All right, hi, I'm Jason Grobstich.
And I'm Gaby Sandoval.
And this is Self-Projecting, the show where we bring our favorite movies to each other and never change our opinions.
Boom, and then there's many spoilers ahead.
Yes, so if you haven't seen Dead Alive or Dead Silence, watch them first because we're gonna spoil the hell out of it. This week I brought Dead Silence, which is a James Wan film, probably his most underrated. And it is a puppet film. I'm also laughing because these posters are the exact same structure, which is really funny. But yeah, so this movie's about this man named Jamie whose wife gets mysteriously murdered after a puppet's delivered to their home. And so he has to go back to his hometown and kind of figure out the origins of this and why she might have been killed, and if he's next. So this movie I really find funny because I think it's his seed of Malignant, which he ended up making 15 years later-ish. Because it's kind of campy, kind of drama, and overdoes a lot of the horror tropes we see. I was just laughing a lot when he's driving and it's the town picture, and then it shows him driving over the bridge in the town picture, then it just goes back to him driving into the town. It's just so over dramatic and over stylized.
The boat.
So the boat, it's just dramatic and theatrical, which I love. So I'm finally bringing a campy thing to the show. Oh yeah, and written by Lee Winnell, who I love, and James Wan and him are a duo for a lot of things. So they did Saw and they did Insidious. So what did you think of the campiness of me finally bringing a camp horror to this conversation?
I know it's good. It's good when the flashlights, because you come home, there's always a light bulb out when we first see his wife mouth open. It's
yeah. See, that's another just dramatic zoom, and it's
No, I love flashbacks. This has a lot of flashbacks, or legend has it.
A lot of small town Mary
family.
Shaw. We don't say that name around here. I just thought that was so funny.
Or even at the end when he's realizing what's happening, he's
yeah. A lot of it has a Saw ending in a way, it's it didn't have that music, but it felt like it did.
Yeah,
it was so funny. I was why? You could tell they made it really, really close together. But yeah, I just love it. It's so funny and of the times. But I feel this one gets drowned out in.
Yeah, why do you think that is? I was wondering because a lot of people say this is James Wan. No, nobody's seen this one.
Because it is a little silly.
I haven't seen it.
Because I think it is a little silly and it is melodrama and it's not really scary, even though the doll's actually face
the dolls
and I felt the movement of the doll's face was one of the more realistic things I've seen.
Or Henry the mortician, the claustrophobia, he gets stuck and he's just let me out of here, let me out. I'm oh, he's an idiot for that.
Yeah.
But he was a sole survivor because he was kind of was there.
But doesn't want to remember it.
Yeah.
He's I just don't even want to think about it.
Talk about drama, the little kid being
oh yeah.
He doesn't want to. But I feel kids are definitely going to scream way more than adults. But that's why I feel maybe I'd survive, because if that's the rules, why don't you just tape your mouth shut and just breathe through your nose?
So the big rule of this thing is if you scream, you die. So you just literally
Bitch, you better be joking.
Busy.
Henry got to be included in the show. He actually did it all right. He wasn't disrespectful. He was oh, the doll is under my chair. I'm going to bring it to you. So maybe there was just some kind of thing there.
But then that's why I felt bad for his death, because if something such a tonal
I know.
shift. I think it's genuinely might because he screamed.
I know, you got to follow the rules. But yeah, so if you scream, you die. I don't know. I guess if you knew that, yeah. But then some of them kind of Donnie Wahlberg.
Which he's one of my he really captures.
He's amazing. Oh yeah, this is another part of the campy detective doesn't give a shit and doesn't believe in the lore and just is kind of being mean, but funny mean.
Always holding up evidence too,
yeah.
Explain this.
When you can't take the doll because this is evidence, and he's can you please, get it away from me, thank you. I was laughing when that would happen. He's probably thank God.
Or just randomly comes and body slams you. All the dolls were unburied. How did this happen?
I love a storyline of a detective really truly learning.
I know.
Okay, this is real. Because again, another trope of horror, but is it a trope? Because it's kind of real life. Police really not taking anything seriously. I kind of figured out in my mind, and I know you're guilty.
Well, this is
but
the
then
difference.
they see that it's
cops are the most useless. They just are for the sirens. But a detective will get on the floor.
That's true.
And especially when that is kind of no one's taking seriously. Yeah, they want to get promoted. So a FBI, I trust a little more.
What did you think of that scene, of the iconic scene of him the puppet sitting in the windowsill and like the red flashing and the
Yeah.
motel lights. That is like the one I remember from watching it for the first time. I thought it was so creepy.
The clown one was the one. The clown
one's
because also I love a read when he's just like, because the clown also reveals like, oh, I know she was pregnant.
Oh yeah, that was a reveal too.
Kind of took care of her.
It is like, come closer, I'll tell you. But there wasn't a jump scare. The clown really was just like, I'm gonna whisper this.
It's whisper and it's also tea.
And it's tea. Like, hey, I actually don't know if everyone here needs to know this, but
we kind of got to talk about Mary Shaw. So
yes, I love Mary Shaw.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Like,
I know what you're
mad
gonna
at
say.
her?
Actually, yeah, I knew you were gonna say. I was like, she's gonna take Mary Shaw's side because she is a performer that was disrespected and laughed at.
she's performing and she's just trying to be good at her skill, and then they're like, "You
She's
moved your mouth."
what do you
she's
call
a
that?
ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist, yes.
And she gets shaded that she's not good at it. She kind of takes matters into her own hands and kind of
Yeah, this kid from the audience yells, "I can see that you're speaking for him," and like.
Ooh.
Everyone stops, and it is embarrassing because people start laughing, and then, rightfully so, the kid gets, like, called out. She's like, yeah, I see you, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that part was insane. Like, that's the part maybe I don't agree with her. Like, okay, or maybe, yeah. Like,
Maybe taking control of your craft.
But the fact that the family, well, she didn't, it was back in the day, nobody knows how to murder and not get caught. But then the Ashland family.
I thought that was the time when people did.
I know, but she must have been really bad at it for them to know.
That's true, because she got an angry mob like that.
Yeah,
They're like, we know, girl.
What they do to her is kind of terrible. They cut her tongue out.
Yeah, so then that's kind of her
That's
revenge.
her origin story. So she's like, I'm gonna do the same to my victims.
Yeah, so then the whole concept is she's gonna take out everyone who was a part of that, which is pretty much the whole town because the town is not big. I'm like, really? She has been working this. If that census came through again, like that population is like 0 because she was coming for bitches.
No, and like that's another thing that I thought was funny. / I was like, what's gonna happen here? So his dad, Edward, who that actor was the warden in Shawshank Redemption. So it was kind of funny seeing, but he looks very old. I'm like, he looks so sickly.
Yeah.
And I love when he just reveals like, so I think I know what's happening with Mary Shaw. He's like, wait, you guys killed her?
Our family killed her.
He's like,
along with others.
Yeah.
He's like, look, everyone's kind of dead and you're next, so I'll tell you now.
Yeah.
And then he's next too.
But then turns out he's not even telling the story. The doll is, because he's being controlled. Which
the dad. That was a reveal.
Were you shocked when you first saw that?
Oh yeah, the reveal is which is a pretty gross one. At the end, it's like his whole back has pretty much been ripped out, and there's like a stick like that you would move a doll's like inside him, and so his mouth isn't being moved.
I love the flashback because she's been controlling his mouth and she's been
doing it because then it's revealed that like Mary Shaw is like possessing her.
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of lore that's just like kind of fluid in a way, which I love. It's like
she gets so good at making dolls that she makes them look human.
Yeah. Which
like,
I love.
That's the perfect design.
I found it funny that Donnie Wahlberg died because he screamed, but then it was because he was
gonna
falling.
die anyway. Like that's what I was thinking. I was like, no joke. When I was watching that scene, I'm like, would I rather die like just falling off a building or scream and get my tongue ripped? I don't know.
I mean, but his death was really cool. It was probably my favorite because he's like falling, gets swoops into the curtains as he's falling, and then comes back, and yeah, he's like a puppet. I thought it was cool.
The mouth, because he was like.
But he acted the hell out of it. I really liked it. I loved him in this role because he really was like, he had a perfect arc of like, okay, whoa, this is crazy. When they're seeing all the dolls come to life, and he's like, I wasn't over my head, and I admit that.
Donnie Wahlberg is like a low-key horror person because he's in Sixth Sense. Donnie Wahlberg's the one that shoots Bruce Willis. Wow. So it was fun to see him. I love when you see actors in more than one horror.
Yeah.
And you look at their origin. So the fact that he started off in Sixth Sense, that's a great starter kit. And then he's like, I'll come back. I do love actors in horror. I always say it's really endearing just to see, even if they don't come back, a lot of them start there. And it's like fun to see them act the hell out of stuff. But tonally, he was also in an action thriller because he's like...
Yeah. He was chewing this role
So,
up.
I wonder if Blue Bloods came after. Yeah, I think this has probably got him Blue Bloods.
Hey, it booked him.
This was his reel.
He was booking, y'all. That's great for him. And no, I'm saying he really ate it down. So, but then Yeah, what did you think of the reveal of like, yeah, your wife was pregnant and that was offspring for the family that... I know, that was actually pretty dark. I was like, okay,
that's
whoa,
where
we
I was
were
like,
kind of
Mary
campy.
Shaw, that was too much.
Now you're not on Mary Shaw's side anymore.
I know. But also, one thing that scares me is being framed. So I did feel for the lead. You know... Wait, I don't know why it's funny.
I don't know, I just always... I have heard this before, that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah,
I'm like, it is
all
part
of my
your,
fears, I tell you, I'm like, I'm scared
like I'm going
of this.
down for something I didn't do.
But, because the panic, because me... I know I would double down and be more like, listen to me, and then that makes you look more guilty.
Yeah.
But then if you're really just calm and like,
then you look like a
then
serial
you look
killer.
guilty
Yeah.
too.
Hey, there's no... Yeah, I mean, it is tough.
But also, if I'm getting, what did you, straight out the gate, if I'm getting this doll without a name or something delivered to me,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't keep it. You know, dolls being possessed are really scary.
Yeah.
But this one I liked because it was the perfect amount of silence and just like whispery talk.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when villains talk too much, you're like, I'm not really scared of you anymore.
Yeah, don't monologue to me. We talked about that. I'm like, I'm not listening at this point. Especially if I know I'm going to get killed. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing you can say will validate this.
I'm kind of bummed I didn't see this when this came out.
I know, I'm actually surprised you didn't, which I was glad I brought this to you.
This could have been quotable, or I don't know, maybe I would have, I don't know, I think this could have, like, affected my references a little more.
Kind of about performers and realizing you have to eat shit a lot. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you will just get killed for it.
But I did see Dummy with Adrian Brody, so I did have some ventriloquist dummies in my
you sure
repertoire. But I wish they were more killers.
And now we have to go to your camp class.
Oh my god, this week I brought in Dead Alive. Which
also called Brain Dead, sometimes.
Yeah, it's called Brain Dead, from New Zealand, directed by Peter Jackson. Back in the day, go rent a movie in true fashion. This poster to me just was one of those posters I just kept coming back to. One of those covers just kept coming back, so I was like, kind of have to watch it.
It's a great poster.
Kind of have to watch it, need to watch it. I think people have seen this poster way more than they realize. Like, if you've seen Dead Alive, I'm like, you've probably most likely seen the poster.
I've seen the poster, like, every year, and every year I'm like, I want to watch it this October, so I'm really glad it came, because it was, like, incredible. It was phenomenal. Yeah,
it follows the story of this Sumatran rat who gets taken to a small town, and this poor little boy's mom gets bit and becomes a zombie, and then, you know,
and then an outbreak
and what that
ensues.
looks like for the town. In short, that's what that movie's about.
It was so funny,
but we're gonna get in depth. So
because the opening is this like kind of heist in a way. I was like, wait, what is this movie about? Like, I did not know what we were doing.
But very tropey too, because whenever they want to show the history of something, it's like always like, and then it's like dust, like, we made it. And it's like the Sultan you get the relic, you get the history of the relic, but the relic here is a live rat in a cage.
And it bites the guy. So one of the guys, and I love how they kind of tease the lore a little bit there. It's like, he gets bitten and then they chop off all his limbs, basically. They're like, we're not risking anything coming out. Like, so it was really funny to see, like, immediately the severity. They're like, we're not messing around. You can't get bit by this.
Oh, yeah.
Which sets the great scene of the mom getting bit at the zoo. Which I was like, whoa, why do they have this rat at the zoo? Just, like, not even really contained. Like,
but I do like
those
that.
bars were pretty far apart. I was like, you got this rat could leave if it wanted to.
The thing is, he respected the bars. Like, I'm in here, so I can't leave. But I couldn't put my hand out, which is what.
But I could be out here, or his full face.
I like the commentary of just importing. Like, let's stop importing things that are native to your land.
Invasive species.
So I do like that deep seated, because a lot of sickness and commotion comes from, I'm just gonna steal this thing and bring it to a town that it doesn't belong in.
Yeah, which I mean that's very good commentary as well. And I felt like overall the commentary. The other part was obviously very heavy-handed, but it was good. The mother-son relationship. We went to a mother-son one after having mother-daughter.
I know.
So that was really fun.
Always the evil mom. I love her shots. I love stylistically the styles of this movie of just like the underzoom of a lot, because I don't know if that's a trope of just filmmaking, because I feel that is like the villain shot. You're like talking down and you're underlit, like the flashlight under your chin.
Because it's very intense and like just claustrophobic.
But also very music video.
Yeah.
I feel like when in music videos, when they sing and it's like a spooky music video, it's always of that. Zoom up.
But I like the mom is set up to really be and like he's a mama's boy, and he's like, okay, I will listen, and like he keeps trying to have a life, and she's like, hey, like just stalking him in a way. I was like, damn.
But then he finds love in this Latino woman.
And that's where she gets. That's how she got bit too. Is she was like trying to fake like another. She was sneaking, about to have like a scene, and then she actually does get bit, and it creates a scene again. But like, so I thought that was great. And then of course, oh well, you have to be my caretaker. I'm not going to the hospital. I'm not going. Not that it would probably help if she went to the hospital, but so he is like in that caretaking role still, even through death after she starts to transform. And I don't know. So I really like that commentary down to the ending where she's supersizing. He literally gets born again out of the monster version of her. So I just really liked all the imagery.
An independent man.
Yes. So I was like, okay, the commentary through line. So, I mean, it's very obvious, but so perfectly done to me. Mm-hmm. Like it perfectly was. I don't know. I had so much fun watching it.
But the effects on this film, I thought, were
it's incredible. Practical effects galore. Which
I gotta give him so much credit because Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. I think people are shocked when they find out he did this, or like, why would he do this movie? I love the joke of like he finally made it to Skull Island because that's where the Sebastian Rat.
No, literally, it's where it starts. Yeah, it was Skull Island. I was like, oh, see, that was like a major shock.
That was a deep cut. What was your favorite? Well, there's so many, but do you have a favorite death or a favorite way someone died? Or
I wrote some down because I really love them. Well, first of all, the baby. I think it was the part of this is like what the poster is referencing. But there's a woman who like the zombie baby comes through and cracks her like skull open, and like you see the baby's head like pulling through. I really loved that one because it was just like. I mean, I was kind of waiting to see what that would be, but that baby was so annoying. By the way. That, like, world's worst baby. I love the scene where he takes the baby to the park, and it's like, I'm just gonna try to have a normal day with him. And then it just, like, starts attacking him, and, like, all the moms are watching, like, as he's, like, throwing the baby and, like, slamming him against the
true slapstick humor as a kid.
It was
as
great.
A kid watching this.
It was so funny.
Seeing this younger, but the lead is very... I don't know. He is made for kids in a weird way. Like he could have been on Blue's Clues. Like you know what I mean. He could have been the lead of Blue's Clues. So seeing him kind of have this comedy or these like slapstick moments amongst horror makes it like 10 times funnier.
I really did write. I was like, I love. Maybe I didn't write his actual name. I was just like, I love the lead, but he was just so funny. I found him like so charming to watch. Okay, back to other like the kills. The uncle getting his spine ripped out, but his head was still on the spine. So it's like in the back.
I love the head's just on the floor sliding. I like when the girl screams and the hand just comes through and the hand goes to touch the other girl's face.
Yes, that one was great. The light bulb one where she gets like pushed onto a light bulb and like her whole face is illuminated.
Those skinny bone legs. You survive, but you look dead and your legs are just these like skinny firm bones.
That was crazy too. I mean, literally, it was like every second at the end, it was just like a new gag, which was so fun to just see how he could like keep going and like escalate it.
This proves the my Christian horror joke because I love the priest in this. He's kind of low-key, flamboyant. Even when, hey, if he's not here, I'm still gonna bury his mom. Like I'm still gonna go through with the services.
Oh yeah, that was a funny line. Like if he's not here in 10, like I guess he's not gonna see his mom go to the Lord.
Yeah, no, which is. Then you see him later, and he walks the walk because he gets in there, and when he kicks, I kick ass for the Lord.
Yeah, I was telling you.
And his fight scene is insane. Like, he's so great.
Because it's like, kick. It's like a video game scene.
I kick ass for the Lord.
I've never seen so many people go on the offense immediately for a zombie outbreak. Like usually people are running or like I just loved it. It was art. It was art. I was like, you have to think about how to keep making it gross and surprising and
one-upping yourself.
This was a movie that truly escalated the whole time.
What I like about these movies, I feel like whenever you watch a movie and it's like a couple watching a horror film, it's like, oh, gross, and it's always the movie on the TV. Like, this is what people think horror is, because it's like that typical going to the drive-in and just a great group film where everyone's like, like that's what I like about
I was
this.
saying that
It's
I would love to see this in a theater with like people, like a midnight crowd.
Yes.
Because I just think everyone would be having the time of their lives. I mean, I was still, but you know, it's just a different vibe when everyone's like clapping and screaming, and I don't know. This one would be a perfect one to see with people.
I love comments on this video because a lot of them are similar to mine, where it's like, saw this at 3 a.m. on HBO one night when I was a kid and never looked back. It's always a movie that you stumble upon.
You are just accidentally there.
Night.
Yeah. And it is just shockingly but again, gory in a way that, I mean, it would still disturb people, but like it's so over the top that it's like, it's almost just you're watching it it's impressive more instead of being like, I mean, it's gross, but
no, it is, because I had a moment of like, when she's putting the limbs in the blender, she's like just getting all this blood, and he's going through, and
it's going, yeah.
Like, ah!
You know, honestly, the grossest thing for me was the pudding, which isn't even like, it was like not that compared to everything else that happens, not gross. But the mom is like still trying to like pass as alive, and one of her like wounds squirts into this pudding this guy's about to eat. That to me was the grossest part. I was like, oh.
The slime time live, yeah, the abscess, the first time they go down and see it, it's like green, it's like
disgusting.
Love the mom, what she becomes. She just become, I know it should be like funny, but she has like these big boobs and this big hips.
Oh yeah,
and she's like,
I loved the mom. I really thought she ate up this role, and like I love again how it escalated to her being this like literally overbearing to the size of like, I am coming to get you as a monster.
Because there's been a couple of movies of that, of like the kid being like, I'm not scared of you, mom.
Yeah.
And then being like, I know you killed dad because he cheated.
That's the whole story you told me about dad. It's actually him and his mistress that you killed, like in the bathtub or whatever. It was fun.
Yeah, both of these have little boys witnessing death.
Yeah, maybe that's the through line. It's like the trauma.
I do love a shot of someone underwater screaming, or like, because you.
Me too.
Someone's running.
You know it.
Wait, that sounded really good. Wait.
I need a role like that. I'll drown. Put me in it. No,
you're gonna get swirly. Like you probably getting bullet. Like that's in the toilet. Like that's your opening scene of a movie. How we introduce your character.
I don't know why I just also thought of like when people are underwater and they're like the bullets are being shot at them. I don't know why I'm like going on a tangent.
Or the dramatic, like in the bottom of the tub, not listening to like someone bitching at them. You know they're on the bottom, like
when it goes from loud to just.
Look at the water effects.
Why are we like we're really going through the water moments?
Yeah, favorite one. You have to do it right. The bullets. That is true. Like.
Yeah, okay. We're really going on a tangent, but I didn't realize bullets could still like kill you when you're underwater.
I was just thinking that. As a kid, I was like, why are they freaking out? They're saved.
Right, but no, I guess they can still get your ass.
No, they totally.
How far down do you have to go for it to stop?
But it changed because in the movies they show how like slow, but they could kind of go as fast.
Yeah, but
all of a sudden you just see red. You're like, I'm shot. I wonder if it hurts though.
Yeah, I'm like, why is it still going that fast? I should be fine. But anyways, yeah, I do like the you lied about everything. It's like, again, we kind of knew the mom was really shady and horrible. Like, always trying to keep him
a little close.
Under his wing in a way that, again, even in death, she was still doing it. So he really did have to let her go. Yeah, that was gross too. Just like her stomach opening up and he's like rolling down the roof. And I really did think, I was like, oh, did we lose him? But no, he gets his triumphant burst out and they kind of tightrope. What is that? What it's called? Zip line. They zip line out of there.
A good rom-com at the end.
It is.
A good happily
and then like
ever,
I
they're
feel
bloody and just like
a beautiful like like they're walking away as the house on fire and the fire people come in try to like. I would have been like, can you just let that burn? They needed to Laurie Strode that. Be like, let that house burn. Don't go in there.
But is our through line two little boys witnessing death, or I think a family or family?
Wait, I just realized these are two male leads too, which is something that horror doesn't do.
Hold on.
Whoa,
that is actually a huge deal. We don't really see males.
We kind of get our
film.
final girlies as men this time. That is such a rare thing.
And we kind of care about them.
And why we love both of them.
We want them to live.
That is shocking. And maybe that's the through line enough. Okay, this has been another episode of Self-Projecting.
Oh my god. I'm Gaby Sandoval.
And I'm Jason Grobstich. Next time I am bringing Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
Well, I'm bringing in The Funhouse.
And that'll be our last Halloween episode.
Yeah,
or our last horror.
We'll take our October season off.
Okay, so we're ending. Okay, we'll see you later.